All right. So, wow, this is brave. So, when I was in sixth grade, okay, I had a paper route. Okay, and I had this like the paper bag thing, and I was a delivery boy for the Detroit Free Press. Okay, so I grew up in Detroit, and after school I'd go and I'd wrap up the papers and I'd put them in my little thing. I'd ride on my little Huffy 54, and I would deliver papers, and I'd throw them, and I'd try to throw them on wherever, trying to get them in the bushes or anything like that, and. A weird thought. I tried to explain this. Like I remember my youngest son had a friend, and I tried to explain that I was a paper boy. He's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Well, you would take the news for the day, and they would print it on paper, and then you would roll it up, and then you would throw it onto the lawn of someone's house, and then somebody would come out and get that." And he just could not feel like. The delivery system just didn't wow, how did that work? Okay. But anyway, so I'm a paper boy, and after school, I was on Woodward Avenue. There was a little drugstore, and I went to the drugstore after school, after my route was done, and they had just put out the new G.I. Joe figures. Oh gosh. Okay. Now, I looked through my money, and I did not have enough money to get one of the new G.I. Joe figures. And so I came up with this ingenious plan. And the ingenious plan was I was going to open the package. I was going to take out the G.I. Joe, and I would do this underneath the paper bag so that no one saw what happened to me. And I was so slick, I bent down to tie my shoe, but I put the G.I. Joe in my sock. I feel terrible even saying this. I'm sweating as I even go through this whole thing. So I am a thief. I am shoplifting. I am walking out, and it didn't matter that it was the new Destro. It was terrible but I'm walking out of the drugstore, and I'm looking at everybody, and I feel like they're all looking at me, like the whole world's looking at me. All the customers are looking at me. Everybody's suspecting me of shoplifting. Wasn't the case. But I walk out of the store, and this is the truth. I'm telling you, this actually happened. So I'm on my bike, okay, and I'm riding back home. I get to a street, and the stoplight comes on, and I stop. But I stop, but my front tire was off the curb. Okay, so my whole bike was off the curb, and a police officer comes, and I swear he's probably going 2 miles an hour. Okay, a police officer comes. He's getting ready to take a right turn, but he comes and he accidentally bumps the wheel of my bike. Okay, and I thought, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail. I'm going to go to jail. Now, I didn't realize this was happening at the time because I'm convicted. I have stolen property on my person, okay? And I thought for sure I'm going to get checked. I'm going to get, my legs padded and this whole thing. So he hits my bike tire. I says, "Son, are you okay?" I'm good. I'm absolutely fine. "Are you sure?" Now, come to find out, this police officer is mortified because he just hit a kid on a bike, okay? At least in his mind, that's what he's thinking. So he's thinking, I'm going to go home. I'm going to tell my mom. We're going to sue the police department of Ferndale, Michigan. We're going to do all this stuff. No, I'm mortified. I have just stolen. So this guy, he goes, "Are you sure? Maybe I should take you to the station." Like, no, I don't want to go to the station. I have G.I. Joe. He's in my sock. He's right here. So he comes around, and he says, "We're going to take you," and he puts my bike in the trunk, and I get put in the back seat, and I get taken to the police department. Okay, and they bring in another officer. He's asking me questions, and I'm like, "Please don't look at my sock. Please don't look at my sock." And no. So he comes in. They bring a nurse. A nurse comes in, and she's doing the whole thing and checking me. I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." And like, no, we need to bring you home. So they call my mom. and my dad. And they say, hey, we're so sorry. We hit your son. He was on a bike, and they're really just trying to I know this now. They're just trying to save their butt. They're just like, this could be terrible. This could be on the news. This could be on the very news that I'm delivering tomorrow, that a police officer hit a child. And so they decide they're going to give me a parade. So they put me in the car. They put my bike in the car. The sergeant comes, and there's like 3 police cars. They have their lights on. They are driving me home like I'm the Prince of Siam. They have me and I have stolen material in my sock. They walk me up to the house. Take off their hat, holding their hat like I was a hero. And, ma'am, we're just so sorry. David, he's a great kid. And they're doing the whole rubbing my hair thing. And, make sure you keep the bike on the curb next time. And this whole thing. And I'm like, I just want out of this. I just want out of this entire situation. And my mom's asking, sweetie, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I am completely fine. And I go to my room and I realize I still have the G.I. Joe, okay? And I was so convicted. Oh my gosh, I just in my head, like, this will never happen ever again. And I actually brought it back the next day. I brought the Destro back and I just put it slowly back. I found the package was still there and I kind of put it back, but like, I want nothing to do with that. And it cured me. But the reality is, I was guilty. If someone would have checked my sock, which would have been weird for the police officers to touch my leg at any point in that story, that would have been a very weird thing. But my goodness, I was never, ever going to live that one down if in the middle of my hero's journey back to my house, if all of a sudden they realized I had stolen property in my leg.